Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we're going to take a walk through the outlet collection at Riverwalk, a shopping mall that was originally called the Riverwalk Marketplace. In the early 1980s, the Poydras and Julia Street wharves were demolished, and most of this building was constructed to house some of the foreign country pavilions for the 1984 World's Fair. And after the fair was over, it was converted into a mall. The area on the map, which comes from the 1984 World's Fair, the part that's shaded in yellow is the building that was eventually expanded and adapted into what it is today. Just a few years ago, this mall was at low occupancy and getting run down and outdated, so it was closed for renovations, reopening in late spring of 2014 as the outlet collection at Riverwalk and became the nation's first downtown outlet center. Now we see all these nice stores here, Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom and Gap Outlet, Puma. But there's two things that are missing here. When I was a teenager, when the mall was still relatively new, whenever we would come here, there were two places I liked to go, and one of them was the Sharper Image and the other one was Brookstone. And I'd like to go into all those two stores and play with all the grown-up toys like the treadmills and the massage chairs and all kind of different things. And I'm pretty sure the Sharper Image doesn't exist anymore, and I think Brookstone might be gone too. And that's two things that this mall does not have. Two things that ain't there no more. Up here on the left is the River Bar. That's where you go to get good and drunk before you walk around the mall. We didn't do that today, though. The mall exists on 3 different levels, although only this small part of it has 2 floors stacked on top of each other. The rest of the shopping center is elevated to allow ground access to the cruise ship terminal below. And we'll see a little bit more about that in a little while. In this part of the mall, in the afternoon of Saturday, December 14th, 1996, the MV Bright Field Freightliner bulk cargo vessel went out of control in the river and slammed into the section of the mall. No one was killed in the accident, although approximately 66 people were injured, 15 shops were damaged. Physical damage to the Bright Field was calculated at $1.8 million. Damage to the mall, including the pier, the condominium properties, which are stacked up on top of the mall, shops, the hotel, which is the Hilton Hotel, which is attached to the mall. Total damage totaled an estimated $15 million. And then they weren't able to remove the freighter until January 6th, just over 3 weeks later, and so it became the must-see tourist attraction. Let's go see where the ship crashed into the mall. If you're not from New Orleans, I bet you've never said those words before. Here we see our first broken escalator. It always seems to be the up escalator that's broken too. I just wanted to point out that unlike most metropolitan areas of the size of New Orleans, we only have 6 malls in the metro area. This being one, and the others being Oakwood Center on the West Bank, Canal Place Mall, which is practically right across the street from the Riverwalk on Canal Street, but it's a more high-end mall with limited clientele. Lakeside Mall out in Metairie, which is a nice big suburban mall. Clearview Mall is a very old mall, but it's small, and it only has, well, it has 3 anchors, one being a movie theater, a big megaplex, a Target, and a Sears that's probably going to be gone within the next 6 months. And then the Esplanade out in Kenner, which is dying a slow and painful death. They have large play areas that they rent out, and they have a store that sells coffins and caskets for funerals, and a Dillard's outlet store which sells all of the stuff that none of the other Dillards want to sell. And they're actually talking about putting condominiums into the Esplanade Mall. So we're running out of places to shop in New Orleans. $1 to play Pac-Man? $1 to play Pac-Man?
Really? That's pretty cheap.
Pac-Man's supposed to be a quarter.
This is also
We'll step out onto this balcony and we can see the cruise ships docked at their terminal. The Norwegian Pearl, which sails the Caribbean during the winter and does Alaska cruises out of Seattle during the summer. And way down there, almost out of sight, is the Carnival Dream, which sails 7-day cruises on both the Eastern and Western Caribbean on an alternating schedule. We'll take a walk outside towards Convention Center Boulevard, and on the right is the parking area, which was the location of Centennial Plaza during the 1984 World's Fair. And here we see another outdoor escalator, and if you saw our Canal Street ferry landing video, I don't know why they put escalators outdoors in New Orleans with the heat and humidity, but it just seems like it's a bad idea. Now, this one actually works, and I guess the mall keeps it in good repair, unlike the ferry terminal where they just don't seem to care. Up ahead is the parking validation desk where you can get your free parking if you spend money at the Riverwalk. We conclude here, and in front of us is the Ernest and Morial Convention Center, which we'll walk through next Saturday. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos come out, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.